Resources that are vital for every individual in our nation. Earlier this year, Mrs. Abiodun Essiet,
God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria and God bless us all. You may be seated. Thank you.
For the overview of the Citizens' Assembly, the reason why we're here. Please, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen.
Resolved some issues, such as the lack of water supply to Karo and its environs in Abuja Municipal Area Council.
So today we gather to mark a special milestone in our journey towards fostering inclusivity and grassroots representation in governance. On the 16th of September 2023, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu appointed 6 senior special assistants on community engagement across Nigeria, across the 6 geopolitical zones. This strategic initiative underscores the President Tinubu unveiling commitment to integrating diverse voices and perspectives into our decision-making process, thereby enhancing community development and cohesion. This appointment had a deliberate effort by the President Tinubu, Ahmed Tinubu, to bridge the gap between the government and our local communities by fostering dialogue, understanding, and collaboration. We are proactively addressing regional needs and concerns. The decentralization approach to governance signifies a strong commitment to grassroots engagement and tailored development initiatives, reflecting the unique challenges and opportunities present in each geopolitical zones of Nigeria. Community engagement plays a crucial role in building trust between the federal government and the citizens. It establishes a direct connection and ensuring that the voices of the people are heard and considered in the corridors of power. To gain a clearer insight into the challenges facing our grassroots, we conducted a survey in March 2024 involving over 166 respondents from the North Central region, including Abuja, Benue, Kogi, Kwara, Nasarawa, Niger and Plateau States. The findings revealed a significant disconnect between the federal government and the local communities. For instance, 48.2% of our participants perceived a lack of engagement from the federal government, 78.3% feels unrepresented in the government's policies and decision-making process, 62.1% consider community engagement organization effective, 68.7% believe the government doesn't consult the local community before implementing projects. However, nearly 90% believe that co-creation can lead to more sustainable, contextually relevant solutions. The findings clearly indicate substantial gap in trust and communication between the federal government and the local communities, a gap stemming from unfulfilled promises by successful government over the past 25 years since the return of democratic rule. To bridge this gap and key into the Mr. President Renewed Hope agenda to improve governance by promoting national cohesion through strategic engagement with citizens, by initiating and implementing quarterly citizens and stakeholders engagement section to communicate government activities and serve as a feedback mechanism. My office initiated the Citizen Assembly for the North Central region. The Citizen Assembly was created to collectively tackle community problems and foster an inclusive society where every voice is heard. It offers structures across communities where residents can express their thoughts, share ideas, and table plea and collaborate on lasting solutions to existing problems, while also planning proactively for future challenges. The Citizens Assembly provides a tremendous opportunity for citizens to engage, dialogue, collaborate, and peaceful resolution with government officials. It is a commitment to ensuring swift information dissemination, stakeholder engagement, project participation, and continued deliberation for meaningful outcomes. Nearly 1,000 indigenes and settlers from the North Central region applied to be a volunteer for this noble cause. After a rigorous selection process, volunteers were chosen to represent at least a ward across the 6 states of the North Central region and the FCT. These volunteers will serve as an agent of change and influencers within their communities, developing actionable solutions and ensuring challenges are addressed at the highest level. As we officially launch the Citizens Assembly for the FCT today, I'll be going to all the 6 states in the North Central to do the same thing. With subsequent launches across the 6 states, I urge other government appointees and elected leaders to take a clue from this initiative. Let us replicate this model in our respective community, state, region, for our collective prosperity as a nation. Today, our volunteers, you are the leader with your sphere of influence, no matter how small it is. Let today's event inspire you to contribute meaningfully to grassroots development, which will eventually lead to a national development. I will conclude with a word from Martin Luther King Jr. Human progress is neither automatic nor inevitable. Every step towards the goal of justice requires sacrifice, suffering, and struggle. The tireless exertion and passionate concern of dedicated individuals like you and I. Thank you so much.
I'm the program manager for the Citizens Assembly, North Central. So I'm going to give a brief overview of the Citizens Assembly.
Describing her. She's a woman that I spoke to the first time and I was like, no.
It provides a platform for citizens to raise issues, propose solutions, and collaborate with stakeholders and government agencies across Benue, Kogi, Kwara, Nasarawa, Niger, Plateau States, and the Federal Capital Territory. Possible without the collaborative efforts of stakeholders at both the federal and the states 2024 via our online platform. We have received well over 20 verified.
Very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, once again, the reason why
and friends of Nigeria. My sister, Abiodun Essiet, many people seek to cause revolutions in government, but by one singular act, you have begun a revolution. And let me contextualize what I mean. By one single stroke of connecting the government and the people, Abiodun Essiet has taken the office of the president and elevated the office of the citizen. Because at the end of the day, that is what matters. That is where all of us serving whatever capacity as leaders come from, the people, and that is where we're all going to return. There are 3 lessons I would like to pull out from this conversation today and I'd like to see going forward. One is that indeed the fate of this country lies in the hands of its youth and its women. We were told this conversation was going to start at 10, and a few minutes after 10, we began. It is not every public event you go to that you see us use time the way it should be used. Time is the most important resource we have, and it is the one resource we have no control over, yet we waste it. I see the coordinators of Nasarawa and Plateau are seated here, and they are women. Abiodun Essiet is young and she's female. As I sat here, I sent a video to your mentor, Dr. Koli Ahmed Shatima, the Africa Director of the MacArthur Foundation. And I said, Malam Koli, you must be proud of this moment because your mentee is now a mentor in her own right. So, let us think about elevating our women and our young people, and let us use all the means possible to make them create the Nigeria that we need, to co-create the Nigeria that we need. The second lesson, and I'm going to do this using Nigerian proverbs. Abiodun began by sharing some of those words into Nigerian languages. Hannu ɗaya bai ya ɗaukan jinka. For those of us who understand what I've said, please translate to your neighbor. Owó fúnni kò tó ènìyàn, ènìyàn láṣọ ènìyàn. If you can help, please help. In other words, we can have the best of governments, but nothing is going to change until and unless we collaborate and we come together. And so, the notion of volunteerism, which the Citizens Assembly elevates, is absolutely important. We can have all the money in the world. Nigeria can be the biggest economy in the world. It's now the 4th largest, but it was once the biggest economy in Africa. But without collaboration, we're not going anywhere. So, my sister Abiodun Essiet is modeling the way. She's created what is possible, and I'm asking all of us in the room, what do we say to what she has started? What will be our own contribution? Because even the most well-meaning government cannot carry this burden alone. The citizens must also play their part. My third lesson is that from all of the excellent goodwills I have heard today, law is necessary, policy is necessary, but it is not enough to drive governance. We have moved from the era of governmentality. We are now in an era of governance. What does that mean? There has to be trust, there has to be communication between government and the people. It does not matter how beautiful the laws are, it does not matter how well-meaning the policies are. If the people don't understand it and they don't feel it, nothing is going to happen. They say, Ana biki gidamu. I'll say to you, let me have my share of my issue here and now, my sister, if you say a party is happening in my house. So I was very happy listening to my big brother, the DG of FRCN, and he did exactly what a DG of FRCN should do. I would never have a mic like this, and I would not talk about everything that this government is about. But I'd like to give you a charge, my brother Alhaji Bilama. I hope that the FRCN will be at every town hall that Abiodun Essiet and all the other northwest, northeast, south-south, southwest, southeast will be organizing so that we can really connect Nigerian voices to governance. That is what is missing. And that is what I want FRCN, NTA, everyone else to promise. Because we really have an idea that is happening at the right moment. There could not have been a better time than now for Madam Abiodun Essiet to have created this collaboration, this connection. And I'm going to end by asking all of us to please, as Nigerians, be bold. It's very important to be bold. But please also be optimistic, because we have no other country but this country. And there's no other continent that we can be called first-class citizens. Anywhere else you go, you'll be a second-class citizen. So please let us be bold, let us be optimistic, but let us also be involved. Don't tell us politics is dirty and you sit back. If you're ill, you look for the best doctor. If you want to build your house, you look for the best designers. And then when it comes to the affairs of this country, you turn your back. We can no longer turn our backs. Let us participate, let us pull together, because this country matters and Nigeria is worth living for. I thank you on behalf of the MacArthur Foundation.
Appointed to the position of Senior Special Assistant. Yeah, she and this. Permit me to stand on the already established protocol. Yeah, I'm Celestine Okudili Odo.
And dedication of Mrs. Easton and her colleagues to this cause, and are delighted to partner to move.
The Oba Director, Search and Rescue Defense Headquarters, representing the Chief of Defense Staff, who is unavoidably absent and has asked me to represent him on this event. I'm just here to give the goodwill messages from the Chief of Defense Staff, General C.J. Musa, OFR. On behalf of the Chief of Defense Staff, I humbly want to congratulate Mrs. Abiodun Essiet for this laudable initiative. It is true that you cannot give a patient, a doctor cannot treat a patient without knowing what is wrong with the patient. As a leader, you must be able to feel the pulse of those you are leading. When I was called upon to come and represent the Chief of Defense Staff in this event, I nodded my head that yes, we are getting it right. And this is an initiative, if extended to the 6 other geopolitical zones, we will be able to recognize the importance of leadership from the top to the bottom. You cannot ignore the people that you lead and assume that you are still in charge. I want to really commend the leadership of this event for putting it up and making sure that governance gets to the grassroots as it is requested. Just as we all know that when we are looking for vote to occupy specific offices, public offices, where do we go to? It's the same grassroots. It's the same community that we go to secure their mandate, to secure their vote, for them to empower us to get to those offices. But all over the years, we have all witnessed that once we climb to that top, to that appointment, we seem to disregard, we seem to forget those that are in charge, those that held the ladder for us to get to the top. And by this event, I want to really believe that we will definitely get there where we are supposed to be. And on that note, I want to once more congratulate the organizers, the leadership of this event, and I want to assure you that the CDS is fully behind you and to support you in any way we could. And once again, congratulations, and don't be afraid to weather the weather, that you have nothing to be afraid of. So thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you, and God bless you too, sir. Don't be afraid to weather the weather.
Able to drive it. So our target is a just world. We are looking at a world for us is not surprise, it's rooted in her. and she's just, yeah. She's not delivering.
Unavoidably absent at this occasion due to other important national engagement. He asked me to represent him and first to congratulate Ms. Abiodun Essiet for this wonderful initiative. I believe Citizens Assembly is a program that is aimed at reaching out deliberately and more closely to the citizens, to sensitize them about their rights, about their responsibilities, and also to educate them about what the government is doing for them, so that they will understand that if you are giving something, you are expected also to give something. It's all a way of trying to get closer to the people and let them have a feel of the government they have voted for. Again, it's important for me to mention on this occasion the activities I personally know Mrs. Abiodun Essiet is doing. Since she was appointed, I could say, by my reckoning, she is the most visible SSA to the President on community engagement. She's everywhere. She reports what is happening in the community, especially the communities that are threatened, and asks for support for them. She calls from Plateau, from Benue, from Niger, from all over. Every day, she will write and send messages to ensure that the communities that are distressed, the communities that are threatened, receive attention of the security agencies. I don't know whether many of the SSAs are doing the same thing, but we are feeling her impact, we are seeing what she's doing, and we are hearing what she's doing. And this initiative of launching this Citizen Assembly is another plus for her. So on behalf of my minister, who really would have loved to be here by himself, I would like to congratulate you, Mrs. Essiet. Incidentally, she is wife of one of us who is of blessed memory today. Her husband too was a general. May his soul rest in peace. Thank you very much.
The role of citizens are intervention in health, education, nutrition, agriculture, food security,